Welcome to Rangers Daft, your weekly look from football daft at everything Rangers, and let's welcome the stars of the show, shall we? I was going to write this week the McCoist and Haley of the podcast world, but things have changed in the last couple of hours, so I am going to rename you the Sergio Perino and the Lorenzo Amoruso of the podcast world, because we've just found out in the last couple of hours that Grado's Italian.
No, I'm off Italian, well, quarter Italian.
See, when I was reading this the way home for work in the group chat, I was thinking, maybe it's no Stevely, maybe it's Stevelli.
Stivelli.
No,
Stivelli.
that's my father's side.
Aye.
His name was O'Prey.
Oh. O'Prey?
What? O'Prey?
I think my papa's name's O'Prey, O-P-R-E-Y.
Are you going to go to like Deadpool, mate, and become like Graham O'Prey?
I didn't actually type it in. But I
Graham
just come on,
O'Prey.
it's like one of the things, right? My sister confirmed it to me. She was like, aye, your papa was Italian. It was like, you know that way I felt like, I want to tell everybody this now. Like, it's a bit like when you were young, when you went to Specsavers, right, to get an eye test and you wanted glasses. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing, do you know what I mean? I feel like in the last day that I did go ready with the producer, she's married to an Italian. I can't wait to get in the morning and go, if I tell you I'm Italian.
You do have you have distinguishing Italian features about you, Grado. You know,
Especially with that moustache now, you look like. Do you know what you look like, man?
Luigi?
You look like a guy that's emigrated. Your family emigrated here about fucking 25 years ago. And now you work a chippy, but you're half Italian.
I was thinking more Sopranos. Do you know that kind of Italian?
Algie, don't. Nah, let's calm down.
Aye. No, I mean the Verona Steveleys are well kent round that way. Do you know what I mean?
No, but I like this. I'm going to buy an Italy tab after each gate now, man. That's me. Fucking
Tremendous.
Anyway, John, we're not even for comedy relief this week.
Oh, sorry. Listen, before we get into the matches, because again, we're back to a podcast of two halves this week, I think. Let's talk about this that's popped up today, that the Old Firm might happen in Australia come November. What the fuck?
Shambles.
You're not into that, no?
No.
I don't think an Old Firm game should ever be a friendly.
Nah, I'm not into it.
Not into that at all.
It's a bit corporate. It's a bit NFL playing at Wembley.
A bit English Premier League kind of.
Aye.
But don't get me wrong, if we make a few bob off it, I'm all for it if we don't win the league this year.
But is it not been like, I mean, has it been confirmed, and two, I've been saying it's like Ange Postecoglou homecoming tour, by the way, you want to pay, you know what I mean?
Aye, it's like we're the support group, man, getting out there for big Angie's homecoming, you know what I mean? But and then it's like, they're pure can't wait to see an Old Firm, but then like fucking last year, Celtic are pure, we're not half of anything, you know what I mean? One club, so why do they want us to go wear them for Angie's homecoming, man?
I would imagine Celtic fans might feel the same.
Aye.
Don't get me wrong, maybe a lot of expats in Australia. Maybe
I mean, I would sell out. I mean, it'll be a complete sellout down there because there's so many expats and so many, Scottish roots. You get so many Rangers supporters clubs in Australia. So many.
Imagine the flights for here.
Aye.
Imagine the Barneys, man.
Aye.
I know. And the weird thing is, it'll probably be on at about like 9 o'clock in the morning our time. Like,
aye. Did you see what the boy put on Twitter? I seen one in a bus for the Falkirk area for this if anybody's interested. Also picking up at Iran, Malaysia and Indonesia. DM for details.
That's brilliant.
That's good chat. So are you just are not into this? I know there's been a wee bit of backlash against it from everyone. But I mean, that's what you do in modern day football, isn't it?
It would be a brilliant away day. It would be brilliant.
It would be a good away day, aye. Try and convince Nicola and the Waynes, we'll go to Australia, come on, I'll be alright. Good luck with that. So we'll talk about more of that probably on Football Daft this week, but let's get into the games, boys, will we? Right, okay, again, we're going back to the good times. We're going back to last Thursday night, first of all, and that fantastic result, 2-2 against Borussia Dortmund. One of the best results in Rangers European history.
Scottish football European history.
Sorry, so I'll correct that to Scottish football history. So well done, Stephen. What a result, boys. What an absolute result. You were both there. How was it?
It was one of the greatest nights at Ibrox I've had.
Really?
And it will live long in the memory.
I mean, just the fact it was just a great game as well. Great atmosphere. Just because I had a feeling at half time, and I think you would probably be the same, Bob. Like they're out. Aye. They could take 3 or 4 after.
Was that what I was going to ask? Was that the over like at half time? Was that the feeling that even when it is it was 2-1 at half time, wasn't it? So,
but it felt as if they could just got the part and score every time if they wanted to. It was. I didn't have a good feeling about the second half at all. I thought this could be a long one.
We couldn't keep the ball for more than 2 seconds, man. It was like they were just really dictating the play. Even since we scored the penalty, after that, it was just we weren't in it at all. And then all credit to Gio, man, having that wee tactical switch and going basically kind of 5-3-2, putting Lundstrom in there with the 2 centre halves and having 2 wing backs. And it's as if when we done that, Dortmund just ran out of ideas. And it was like it literally was a game of 2 halves. Yeah, we were the better team the second half, I think.
It is something that Van Bronckhorst, unlike Gerrard, is quite willing to do, is switch it up tactically. I have noticed that about him, that he will switch things about, where Gerrard kind of persisted and, it was like do plan A, plan B's, do plan A better kind of idea.
Yep. Very Warburton-esque.
Aye, but I mean, how important was that first goal when it went in?
Oh, I mean, it was, again, just Kent just committing players, man, and and then we all said that, you kind of thought, like, although everybody's sitting in the stadium going like that, right, we need the first goal, you score the first goal, but we score the first goal, and then you're still going at half time, 2-1 down, you're going, like Grado was saying, you're going, we are fucked. I thought we were in trouble, man, because going 2-1 down, not meaning getting at half time, but I thought it turned out crucial, and to have a game was brilliant, man. Goals.
I mean, Arfield should have had one there as well. Should have squared it to Kent that chance, and it could have been different. But I mean, you didn't need it. I mean, like you said, Stephen, Kent was a constant thorn over those games. He was brilliant against Dortmund. They didn't know what to do with him.
You're watching Kent playing Thursday, and even Morelos going, they'll never be here next season. Just because of the eyes on them. And you're thinking, definitely. Dortmund were watching them going, we need to sign it too.
Aye. There'll be some amount of scouts for Germany looking at like Ryan Kent, Morelos and that, man. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, again, I find it really interesting because I was talking to my mate last night, and like that's where the big spotlight is on European competition. That's where Scottish players are picked up from Scotland to go elsewhere. And it amazes me, it still amazes me that no one's went for Morelos. Well, I mean, there was that Lille whole thing. We've talked about it enough in this podcast about how the value, I mean, his stocks went back up. I mean, it was at one point we were talking, it was at 18 mil, and then we were talking on this podcast, it dropped right down to he's got a 6 mil or whatever. It's way back up now, isn't it?
It's ever since Van Bronckhorst kind of came in, he kind of switched it back on. Because I think before then he wasn't kicking the ball near the end of Gerrard's last days at Rangers, but I don't know, a lot of people saying it's got to do with the likes of Roy Mackay and
the language as well. A lot of my mates say
they say that, but then there's a lot of folk arguing that Michael Beale could speak Spanish to him as well, so I don't know.
It's just like it just didn't look the same player towards the end of Gerrard's tenure. Do you know what I mean? He looked fucking, I don't know, absolute shadow himself, but he has been like just on fire since Gio came in. And Europe in particular, like you say, John, that's where we can attract more value for our assets on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? So there's more eyes on it, and he keeps doing what he's doing, man. Hopefully we can negotiate through the Red Star, then you're hitting the quarter-final stages. And I think if you hit the quarter-final stages, other teams are looking at us going, right, who can we take for Rangers, man? Definitely.
Yeah. I thought Bassey was really impressive again at left back as well. I mean, obviously had a big part to play in the second goal. But is he now the first choice left back, do you think?
100%.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye, absolutely. Was it him that crossed the ball into Taverna?
Aye.
I mean,
didn't he shuffle the wee kind of back and forward?
But he bullied him off the ball, just the strength of the boy, the way he can keep his balance and just get by them and fling that ball in. I just love watching him.
He's got the heart of a lion, man. Honestly.
Yeah. I DM'd him on Instagram, said something like that. I called him a warrior.
I DM'd Ryan Jack, man, for doing my usual. Thank you.
I did that last week or not, man.
That's that, man. Thank you, man. See, no, it was after the game in general. I was like, thank you, man. You've no idea.
I got him and I DM'd Calvin Bassey, Jude Bellingham, and Rory Hamilton.
What a combination of people. Did any of them get back to you, Grado?
Rory Hamilton got back.
Did Rory Hamilton go back? Brilliant. I mean, 2-2, but it really should have been 3-2.
Absolutely, John.
What the fuck was that all about? Like, it was... I came home, watched it again. I'm like, Emre Can's got no idea Morelos is even coming in his blind side. And then, if anything, the ref should be bloody playing advantage because it's a foul on Morelos because he volleys the back of Morelos' leg.
Yeah. I mean, when he went to the VAR decision, there was one angle, and it was Alex Ray that pointed out in commentary. It's like they didn't see the angle from behind.
Which
you could see on the telly. So why is the referee not being shown that angle? We've got this technology, we've got this camera angle, so why is he not getting shown it?
Did I put in that screen grab of the referee though on Twitter that said apparently it's a new rule that had came in last summer? If it's in the middle, somebody taking if somebody's in the middle of taking a kick of the ball, a shot, and somebody puts their leg through it, then it's an obstruction and it's a free kick.
That's insane, man.
At first I thought, all right, I'm glad that explains it, but then you're thinking, but there's no way that if that happens, like, in the box, somebody's getting a penalty for that. Do you know what I mean?
No,
yeah. No, it's crazy. I mean, it just goes to show yet again with even VAR, things can go wrong. I mean, you look at the Man City. I don't know if you.
They've just apologised to Lampard and Everton.
Yeah, it was that was. I mean, that it just goes to show you that VAR can get it wrong, and I'm sure we'll talk about that.
But it's annoying, but because I mean, everybody was going on about the atmosphere, and it was one of the best in Europe. I thought it was good, but it wasn't. It was because it was nervy. See if that third goal had went in, the place would have been bouncing for the last 20-25 minutes. It was bouncing, but it would have been even more. It would have been something special.
You're still nervous at 2-2?
Aye, I was.
What are you?
When the third goal went in, the celebration was euphoric, wasn't it, Grado? It was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable.
And then you're going, right, you can breathe now. But then when you see it's chopped off, you're going, oh
shit. It's that last kind of 20 minutes you're going off.
Poor old guy behind me, man, about 5 minutes after it. They've not changed the board yet. It's still at 2. Change the fucking board. I was going to get far. He was getting but you don't think about things like that, man. There's some poor old buggers that don't know what's going on.
Aye. Oh, poor guy.
Change the board.
Up the road, we won 3-2, son. We won 3-2.
I know.
An absolute amazing result. Huge result for you guys. And then it's Red Star Belgrade next. There's a good chance you could get into the quarters here. I mean, that for me, you've knocked out the tournament favourites. I mean, Borussia Dortmund had to be there and one of the big tournament favourites there. And
I think they were the favourites.
Were they? Yeah.
I think they were the favourites up until we played them the first leg, definitely.
There's none of the teams that you would say are better than Borussia Dortmund.
Well, who's went through? I can't remember. Was it Barcelona?
Barcelona. Sevilla. No, wait a minute.
West Ham, Spartak.
I did. Spartak, obviously, with the situation in Russia and Ukraine, have been removed from the competition.
Leverkusen.
So, presumably,
teams.
Yeah, there's good teams in there, but Red Star Belgrade is probably the best draw you could have asked for, I reckon.
It's got shades of Slavia Prague for me now. Right. So I remember we drew Slavia and I'm going, we shouldn't fear anybody after beating Dortmund their 2 legs. Do you know what I mean? So we shouldn't fear anybody. So it will be a hard game. No, it'll be a very hard game, but we've played them before. I think we could do it. What are you doing, Grado?
Pick one of us.
All right.
But yeah, so do you fancy your chances then?
Yeah, I do. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be confident.
So looking at the manager's comments afterwards, he said, we trained with 3 different plans for today. We need to have scenarios in place to be executed, and I'm glad we did. We had a great performance. We played them twice and got 4 points. It's a great performance. The last 16 It's only teams, we wait for them and we look forward for the draw, and then the draw was made. And you've a really good chance of getting through it.
Why about that tunnel video, man? Walking down that tunnel.
I know, man. How intimidating is that?
Oof. No. See the riot coppers not that stunning there.
I know. I think who was it that said they'd done it? It was Celtic played over there, didn't they? At one point, Red Star Bell.
We played them in 2007 as well.
Aye.
2-0.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you did.
We beat them at Ibrox 1-0.
That whole tunnel walk is epic, man. That video, and you can tell. I mean, obviously they've done fuck all to it because it's so intimidating. But yeah,
that'd be a good wee away days once it comes out. The wee away days thing that they do on Rangers TV.
Aye, on Rangers TV. Aye, definitely.
Aye. So fingers crossed. So that was last Thursday. Euphoric. Did you just go out afterwards? Did you just go straight down the road? Could you sleep at night?
I just get home, but obviously I was up at like 4:30 for the radio, and I was still up at 1:20 watching highlights.
Aye, I was the same. I wasn't up at 4:30 for the radio. I was up at 7:30 for River City, but I watched the highlights, same as you, mate. Late on, just repeat.
Sit with a wee beer, that's great. After you've had a great win, you go home and you have a wee beer and you watch the highlights. I love that, absolutely love that.
When's the last time you done that?
No, it's going
It's been a long time, boys.
I know, when was that? An old videotape of fucking Scotsport with Jim Dillon, 1996.
I break out when I've had a few drinks. I've got a DVD called Fortress Brockville, which was the last. We played at Brockville. We were unbeaten up. We're invincible and unbeaten up until the last game where we got beat off Inverness. The last game at Brockville. Pain in the arse.
Do not take over.
That's it. So anyway, I want to stop hilarity now and let's talk about Motherwell on Sunday.
Fuck me, man.
By the way, I'll tell you something. That Rangers have gave us a couple of very dark, depressing, weekend ruining moments. But that for me this season, that was a bigger kick in the balls than County. It was a bigger kick in the balls than the Aberdeen. That was the worst one.
Was it?
That was the worst one.
I mean,
I'm going to say, right, I'm going to go on record as saying, sitting there at half time, I said to my mates, this is the worst team that's came to Ibrox this season in the league. They are atrocious. Mate, seriously, that is how bad they were. They offered nothing, right? We were so dominant. I can't put any more emphasis on how dominant we were for that 45 minutes. It was incredible. I would have bet my mortgage on us winning that game at half time easily, right? It's funny. It fails me, man.
I wasn't like that at all, but I don't know whether that's got to do with the difference of sitting in your house and sitting and watching it at the game.
Mate, it was like a training session. It was like pure.
I know.
It was so easy.
But my Stephanie's fellas always laughing at me, going, you know how I always say 2-0's no yes to nobody. But that's it. I've proved it again. Rangers need to be up 3-4-0 for me to be entirely comfortable.
Aye, I know what you mean.
They really do, because I'm sitting there and I'm because I'm so negative, I'm going, it's no yet, because if they score right away, it's going to be another fucking nervy half an hour. And it happened. Everything that my worst fears happened. And when the first goal went in, I thought, they'll score again.
Aye, you knew it when they scored the first goal. Aye,
they score again, and we just seem to. Apart from that game, fun enough, against Motherwell last year with Itten, I can't remember many other times we've had a goal scored against us, an equaliser. You know, we don't ever seem to go on and win it.
I mean, you go to the match stats, like Stephen was saying, dominant, 77% possession, 28 shots and goals to Motherwell's 5, 8 shots on target to Motherwell's 3, 15 corners to Motherwell's 1.
Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't for the. 2 offside goals. Liam Kelly, a goalkeeper that actually does make saves. That's not nice saying that, but guys like Liam Kelly, they always have great games when they play against us. So it was one of the ones, and then obviously a chance for us to Connor Goldson and stuff like that, and he hits it right to the keeper. But it was just another frustrating.
I would genuinely go with that, right? I was giving, when we're talking about Dortmund all night, I'm giving Van Bronckhorst praise for switching to the 5-3-2. But in hindsight, I'm going like that at half time. What he's done is working.
The same thing.
I mean, were you surprised?
That's what I'm getting at, John. I'm saying, right, I was very surprised. Lundstrom, you're going to say Lundstrom, mate?
I was going to say. I mean,
I was really surprised, but I can't sit here and totally slag what Van Bronckhorst did, because at half time, that's the most dominant we've played. That's the most dominant we have been in a long time. That 45 minutes, but then as soon as Alexander changes it a bit and he starts having a high press and try to put fucking a bit of pressure on Lundstrom, it just we collapsed, and Van Bronckhorst just stood still. I'm going, you need to, it's so apparent that you need to bring on Balogun and put Lundstrom into midfield now when it was 2-1. Just change it. So to be so proactive in Thursday night and get all the praise for it, he deserves it. But he done nothing in Sunday, and you're going, everybody is shouting when it's 2-1. You need to change it, mate.
John, his first substitution was on the 79th minute, right after.
It was a strange one, wasn't it? I mean, one sub in the whole, when you need to change it and you only use these one sub. I mean, I was surprised initially as well. There was only 2 changes from the Thursday night. They brought in Lundstrom and Sakala. It was the only changes he made, and especially when he brought Lundstrom at centre half. And I mean, I guess before, like you said, Stephen, you're maybe raising your eyebrows, Lundstrom at centre half, but like you say, at half time you're strolling it, and you're he's fucking great. But it was that wee tactical switch from Alexander, bringing in Roberts off the bench, that changed it for Motherwell.
I mean, and you've got to applaud Alexander for that. He's fucking being reactive to how dominant we've been. But then, no, you do, but mate,
I'm laughing at something else.
Because then you're going, Gio's going, I mean, you're going, right, so basically you're going, what Alexander done is so obvious, but we're at home, we're 2-0 up, we've got better players than Motherwell, so we should be able to counter that. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, I think it's the whole thing. I think you've got to then question the mentality. When they get that goal, what Connor Goldson's doing as well for that goal, I do not know, man. And then McGregor for the second goal, even Goldson and Tav for the second goal as well. You're going, that is just a team that as soon as Motherwell get one goal, we know what happened in Edinburgh or Romy Selleck, we've shot it.
Yeah, there was questions for the second Motherwell goal. It was offside in the build-up. Did you see that?
I didn't watch it back, but I could see Van Bronckhorst watching it back. He's got a wee eye.
He was raging about it. I see the wee screen. I seen him. He was raging about it when he went to look at it. But the thing is, man, right, you're saying referees, decisions, officials, none of that comes into Sunday, because we are at home, we're 2-0 up, you're fucking strolling it. If you can't see a game out against Motherwell at home when you're 2-0 up, you've only got 45 minutes to go out and win the game. Make sure the game gets won when you're fucking 2-0 up. It's an absolute scandal.
You're right. No, you're right. And I am no blaming that on the referee, but you've got that challenge on Goldson in the first half.
No, there is decisions and I don't think the Ross's second one is offside.
I sat and watched Clancy put up 6 minutes. And he's still playing the game. The game's still on at 97 minutes, 30 odd seconds.
Aye.
Right. And it's
a conspiracy.
You try and tell yourself no, it's a conspiracy.
But mate, I know you're right, and I don't think Morelos' second one was offside.
No, I mean the first one. I think you can. The first one.
I think he is offside. The first one, but
the second one.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to sit here
because it's also exhausting. It's also exhausting as well as embarrassing. It's very
man. See that? I was listening to Super Scoreboard last night, and there was a Rangers fan arguing with Hugh Keevins said that was embarrassing for Rangers, and I agreed with him. And a guy came on and argued with him, saying, "How can you say it's embarrassing? That's so disrespectful to Motherwell." That was embarrassing. And see being 2-0 up at half time when you know your rivals have fucked up, and you're so dominant for a team to score one goal against you, and then your arse just to collapse. It was fucking embarrassing.
Yeah. 3 wins from 8, 13 points from 24 is not...
See if we won in Europe, John. See if we won in Europe. See that there. That's fucking sackable.
Aye.
That form. It is.
Yeah.
Europe is masking air that now. Van Bronckhorst and these 10 games in the league. I seen Tav today saying we're looking to be perfect in these 10 games. We can't be for our perfect in these 10 games. We need to be.
But the thing is, I don't think Celtic are going to be perfect in 10 games either, Stephen. You know, I don't think Rangers are going to be perfect. I don't think Celtic are going to be perfect because both sides at the moment look capable of dropping points anywhere. You know what I mean? So it's going to be so topsy-turvy this season. I mean, I think from a neutral perspective, it's going to be a hell of a fucking running. Really
it is right, it is. And I just look at it now and I go, like, anytime a team comes at us now, right? Anytime a team comes anywhere near our fucking penalty area, we look like we're going to concede.
Yep.
And see, like for corners as well. I don't know how many chances teams are getting against us for corners. Grado, do you know what I mean?
Well, because they know, try and get it between the 6-yard box and the goals.
Aye, because McGregor's
not coming out for it. He could be planted. There's very little empty at the back post.
Mm-hmm.
And also, not even corners or set pieces. Just take a fucking shot. Just take a shot. Take a shot. Take a shot.
It's like that's setting goal.
Any team, if you're going to play Rangers now, fucking just take a shot because.
Aye, the second goal.
You say that. I mean, McGregor had some brilliant saves against Dortmund there on Thursday.
Listen,
he's cost us a lot, man.
He's cost us a lot of goals, John. He's cost us a lot of goals. He costs us a goal. I fucking hate saying this because he's an absolute hero of mine. You've got the Hearts game at the near the start of the season. You've got the Ross County. I felt as if he could have done better in that first goal come out. I felt as if as Bob has been saying for a couple of weeks, he looked like an old man falling down for that second goal.
I mean, a keeper getting beat at his front post is always inexcusable, isn't it?
I think Goldson and Tav as well, but for that second goal, we need to take. Tav doesn't know where the guy is. The guy's goal side of Tav, but then Goldson sees it, and the way Goldson goes to, oh man, you're going, that's pathetic. Like what you were saying, Grado, man, you're going, we spent like whatever we spent to get Ramsey here, and you've got a guy playing for Hearts who would be perfect in our defence because our defence.
That's a very valid point.
I said that to Bob Burnley.
I can't take credit for that point.
I just sitting there going, look at the team that we've played and what we done in the January transfer window. What did we do? What helped us there in that? What helped us in that game on Sunday? Sands, Diallo, Ramsey, John Suter. It's a fucking shambles, man. An absolute shambles.
I mean, and then Van Bronckhorst is saying the day that Ramsey's going to miss tomorrow night and off.
See, that is just embarrassing now. That is pure banter. You're shite. That's pure.
I did see a tweet, Aaron Ramsey, the first work from home footballer ever.
I seen that.
Aye, but I mean, like you say, that's a very good point. I mean, all that money you spent Ramsey, where the place that you need to improve in was centre half with the injuries to Hollander. But I mean, why was Balogun still injured? Or, I mean, if he's on the bench, why not?
He was on the bench and he played 45 minutes on Thursday against Dortmund.
Aye, so why not?
I mean, see, I get the fear. I don't know if I text you. I get the fear about Lundstrom. Now I know he's had experience in the past, apparently playing centre half, but why are we doing things like that?
No, mate.
It always comes back to.
Aye, because mate, see playing centre half, it's different the way he slots in with a 3. Because you've got another 2 there. It's so different. And see what Gio done at the weekend, just playing him, just with a 2, just him and Goldson. That's you can't do that.
I heard Andy Halliday talking about that on Super Scoreboard last
night. Mate, it's so easier, but it's like you seen it in the past where Advocate played fucking 2 guys a sweeper, remember? It's like Lundstrom can just do that because he's got so much protection there with the other 2 there. So it's so much easier. But if you're playing them with just one next to another, that's bonkers, man.
Different. He gets position.
Even goes far to say play. If he's really gone like that, Bag and he's no fit, I would even have just fucking took the dairy and went play Barisic's left back and put Bassey in there. Do you know what I mean?
And you've got Kamara as well, who for me I feel as if he slows everything down. Everything is slowed down.
He's doing man nothing. He is. I've been shouting like fuck about him the past few days, man.
The fingers are well and truly out, boys. So McGregor's getting it. Goldson's getting it. I've seen now Kamara's getting it from Stephen. I've actually seen people as well giving it to Kent as well, saying numbers aren't good enough. Numbers aren't good enough. He's scored 2 goals this season.
Well, I thought he was poor. I didn't think he was up to much on Sunday either. I knew that was going to happen. I felt, see that game, and he was fucking mind blowing on Thursday night. And I thought, I bet he's rotten on Sunday.
I don't think he was rotten on Sunday. I think he was. I think he got 2. He said he got 2 assists. He set up with 2 goals basically. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going. I don't really. I'm not pointing fingers at him now.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking he's one of, like Harvey was saying last night.
No, it's maybe I'm just getting that fucking whole. That's right. Maybe I'm not having a go at the way he played Sunday. Maybe I'm having a go at the mentality of that team. That team that fucking crumbled. It's the same team that crumbled after Christmas 2 years ago.
Aye.
A year after that. I think it's that whole. These cunts can't. I've just got a habit of fucking bottling it.
Big questions, boys, over mentality. That's been a very kind of buzzword this week in the kind of Rangers Twitter world. Mentality. Van Bronckhorst said, Grado, you'll like this.
It's good!
Van Bronckhorst said the mentality of his squad is good.
Oh, fuck off. Mate, I feel terrible saying this, but I can't listen to any of these press conferences. I can't. I don't know about you, I just can't.
I don't. He's no. I know. He's good.
Josh shite bag, mate. Josh shite bag. Right. Here's the big question then. Right. Here's the big question for you today. And I asked my other Rangers supporter this, mate, this yesterday. Would you swap the result against?
Oh, here we go. Is this? Sorry, John. On you go.
So would you swap the result against Dortmund for 6 points in the league? The Dundee United and the Motherwell game.
Ask us that at the end of the season.
But it's a big question asking. I guess it does. You do.
I would say.
He's spicy.
No comment.
No comment.
John, I want it all.
I want it all.
Aye.
You don't want it now.
Right.
Adventure seeker.
It's going to be interesting. End of the season. Let's revisit this question because it will be interesting to see how those results have affected the running. But
I'm losing sleep. I'm up for a pee at like 2 a.m, and then I'm going back to bed. I'm thinking about fucking systems. I'm thinking about bottle. I'm thinking about fucking games we've got coming up. This is affecting my health.
And I mean, you actually seen Ricky mean Sunday night because seeing Rangers TV after the first goal, right? The camera, because it's obviously no Rangers TV controlling the camera. It's the kind of general whoever's got doing the filming, and it kept going to because Alexander was in the stand.
It's John's brother.
I was shouting at your brother because it was going to, after the first goal. It was going to Alexander, right, and he was going.
Sitting in his
sitting with your phone going like that, right, and I was going, that's annoying, right? But see when the second goal went in, and it cut to him again, I'm pure going, get off him! Get off him! Get off him!
DM and John's brother. What are you doing?
Fucking ring up right there.
Right, here we go.
Get off him now!
Right, here's the big question then. Take the full week. So we've talked about it's been a podcast 2 halves, been a week of 2 halves, joy, despair. Over the week, who is the Rangers Daft rated player for you over the 2 games?
That's a good question.
Sunday my slippers, man.
I bet the Douglas were shitting itself and all that when you showed me.
They all were.
I'm going to go with Rangers Daft rated over the 2. It's hard because there's such different games, man.
I know.
It's too hard to do that.
I'm going to go with my Rangers Daft this week is Calvin Bassey and my Rangers Dafty is Alan McGregor.
Right. Grado.
I know you're going to slag me, but probably the same because I thought Bassey for me was outstanding.
I've not even getting a look in after that performance on Thursday.
I know. I just think Bassey I think he just that second off. I think Bassey was like a man possessed, and I know Tav get the 2 goals, but I'm sticking with Bassey.
Right. Okay. You going the same, Grado?
Do you know what? I might actually go for Bassey Thursday night, and I'll go for Bassey being my Rangers Daft, and Dafty I'll go for, I think, maybe Connor Goldson.
Oh, well, Goldson and McGregor, the fingers are getting pointed at both of those. So
I really hope I don't bump into McGregor anything soon.
I know, man.
No, he's better avoid him.
Listen, we just, somebody needs to just take you aside and say, but that's horrible. But this is horrible, isn't it? This is horrible, man.
What happens? But sometimes you've got to take the dog outside and shoot them, Grado. Do you know what I mean? It's the best thing to do.
David Edgar, Heart and Hand, was saying he's dropped and all that, and he's fucking part of the fan media, so he'll get it down before us, mate.
That's right.
But these fan media with their pals, man.
So this podcast is going out on Wednesday afternoon. You are playing St Johnstone away at McDermott tonight. The big question, I think, is who starts and goal, and what team starts.
He's going to Van Bronckhorst. I'll play McGregor.
Do you think?
Well,
I think you will. I think it'll be McGregor, Tav,
get my
Goldson.
roofing hat, Jay.
McGregor, Tav. I think Balogun will come in.
Yeah.
To play alongside Goldson. I think he'll play Bassey left back. I think he'll go Lundstrom in the middle with
Jack.
No, Jack's unavailable.
Mate.
Is he unavailable? Is he again?
Jack's not available. Hollander's not available. Dialli's
Davis.
not available. Davis isn't available.
Ramsey.
Has Jack picked up another injury? When did that happen?
Right, I think my mate said this, and I think I seen a wee bit of it. I know.
COVID.
My mate, aye.
Right.
Aye. Anyway, so I would say, so I said McGregor, Tav, Balogun, Goldson, Bassey, Lundstrom, Aribo, Arfield, Kent, Morelos, and Fashion.
Go with that, Grado, aye.
I just think you don't know what's going to happen. Just because that kind of, I feel as if he's always got something up his sleeve, Gio, whether it be right or wrong. Like the game against Hearts, he pulled Lundstrom out the hat, and it turned out to be all right. Sunday, don't know if the Lundstrom thing playing something.
Mate, we've hardly got any players left now, but
yeah.
I think the team kind of the only change I think they might go away is maybe.
But but then you're even like, you're thinking Lowry, man.
I know.
Maybe I'm pulling at fucking teeth. What do you say?
I mean, going away to St Johnstone. I mean, they've only they've only won one of the last 25 league meetings with you guys. So I mean, now's a good time to get us, John, especially when you're on your own patch. And us got away from home, man. You're unbeaten against them in the last 14 league away games against them as well. So I mean, on paper and statistically, it's looking good. Morelos scored 5 goals in the last 5 starts at McDermott Park as well. So on paper, need to win. We need to win. Yeah, we need to win. We need to, like Tav saying, we need to be fucking close to perfect now. We need to. There's no room for error. That fucking, like Grado said, that's the worst at the weekend there. Because if you win that, you're a point behind Celtic. No, you're away from home. Even if you slip up, they win. You're fucking like 5 points behind them. We need to win. Yeah. Then it's Aberdeen at the weekend. Oh, fucking hell. It's one of those ones, isn't it? You look at it because good ones just come in as well. You think it's one of those ones, isn't it? But John, it doesn't matter, John. It's Aberdeen. Again, it's Aberdeen do not fucking travel to Glasgow. They really don't. You know, sure, but they travelled last year. Aye. Fucking aye. They gave me and Bob at it, man. We'll never sit next to each other again, man. 2 each. Fucking Scott Brown scoring and everything. I think honestly, like Scott Brown, you know, I heard rumours that we were in, man. First time me and Grado sat together at Ibrox, man, and Brown scores.
We'll just after like was it not like 2-0 after like fucking
Aye.
Just like we'll just not do this again. We'll go our separate ways. We'll handshake at the end, saying right, I'll see you later. We won't talk about this ever again.
I didn't do my hair or nothing, man. Wore a scarf.
We coped it that night on Twitter and everything, man. It was just a bad night at the office for us, man.
Aye.
It was a bad night for the brand.
Aberdeen form wise, this is before their game on Wednesday night. 3 draws in their last 3 games. I mean, the Rangers actually got the same form, 3 draws in the last 3 games, 2 wins before that.
It's funny to think like
we're taking into account the European game as well.
We've played since Christmas. We've played Ross County, Celtic, Aberdeen, Motherwell, and Dortmund, and we've only been able to beat Dortmund.
Jesus Christ, man.
I mean, where do you see this one going, boys? At Ibrox, I mean, Aberdeen are usually not the best there.
We need to win, John.
It's so just 2 wins out of both games. That's all
it needs to be. For. It needs to be. I don't care how it is. It just needs to be. We need. See, if we don't win both the games, it's fucking night-to-night.
Even so, if you say, let's say, I mean, Celtic. I mean, looking over the city, if you even drop points in any of these games, you think it's night. So,
John, we need to win.
Right? Okay.
We need to win. This isn't Falkirk we're talking about, John. This is Rangers. We need to win.
Right, and on that, then, what's the score's going to be?
3-0 in both of them.
3-0 in both of them. Confident like that, Grado.
Oh, fucking hell, man. I'll go for 1-0 St Johnstone, 1-0 against St Johnstone.
Right.
You meant St Johnstone were going to beat us 1-0.
No. And 1-0 against Aberdeen.
Fuck, mate, that's 2 right nervy games, man.
You can't handle this, Grado, Kino.
I could imagine, but seriously.
Sitting there, fucking 90th minute, man. Aberdeen have got a corner, man. They've put the board up for 6 minutes. How do you do? We're only winning 1-0. I'll die.
I would capitulate.
I can't. I'm close to that, mate. I mean it. I'm no joking. I'm losing sleep.
I mean, even at the game on Sunday, it was like, we need a goal, like right for the get go.
Aye. Get relax.
2 goals in fucking side a minute. You think, come on, let's go for it. Let's do it.
I genuinely felt relaxed the whole time, but I think that's the mistake I've made.
Aye.
We need to win, John.
Don't rest on the
So that's it for this week's Rangers Daft, and I think we should entitle this episode We Need to Win. I think that's the name of it. We should really entitle it We Need to Win. That is it. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back with Chris on the Headline Show this Friday.
No,
Chris isn't here. No, Chris is off. He's getting his
Producer Ryan's coming in.
Producer Ryan is giving us. He's got COVID, so he's off his work. So he said, "I'll jump in and do it." So he's going to jump.
No, it was good in the group chat. We arranged each coming on. Not that then, like 45 minutes later, man, Grado. Yeah, Ryan, you should come on the pod tomorrow, mate.
So Ryan will be giving it from the Celtic end on the podcast this week. We're speaking to Dundee stalwart. His dad used to be the chairman, and he's also the voice of new music in Scotland. Jim Geltley's going to come on and talk about the situation at Dundee and why Mark McGee doesn't like mobile phones. So we'll talk
interesting.
We'll talk to Jimbo about that. We'll obviously have all the usual stuff, features, the riddles, and we'll have more pies to give away as well. Vote your swanky moment right now. I believe, Grado, you're currently winning with your Dundee United supporters giving the Rangers supporters the wanker sign at a couple of weeks. So we will see how that turns out. Actually, the guy who filmed that is my brother's mate. He was filming the game and he's waded in and he's like, "Yes, I'm winning! Come on!"
I bet he was buzzing with that because nobody else would have saw that apart from him. Good on him.
He was tweeting it. Oh, that's fucking great! It's winning! Come on!
It's so funny, but in it, just the way he gets up and goes, "He pure fucks off. He's pure fear." It's like you and Cameron said it right. It's his kryptonite. Mobile phones is his kryptonite.
Aye. So we'll see how we get on with that. In the meantime, please continue to subscribe, rate, review Football Daft on Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. You know what to do. Until next time, guys, what do we say? Grado, say it loud, say it proud.
We are people.
Oh, for fuck's sake. We've got to win!
We need to win. John, we need to win.
Come on,